Welcome back. It's nice to see you again. Thought today we could dip into a little bit of the Lord of the Rings. I've been feeling sick, a little under the weather. The whole family has actually. And it's one of those cold winter nights. I just want to be in Lothlorien. So there I went. And I don't know, I thought we could maybe take a look at Gandalf, commemorate him, mourn him, as we'll see Frodo do, in the Elvish way with a little song. Okay? So at this particular part, like I said, we're in Lothlorien. The company has lost Gandalf, tragically, which hopefully we'll read that passage sometime soon. But for now, let's take a look at the company and what they're doing. Now as the companions sat or walked together, they spoke of Gandalf, and all that each had known and seen of him came clear before their minds. As they were healed of hurt and weariness of body, the grief of their loss grew more keen. Often they heard nearby elvish voices singing, and knew that they were making songs of lamentation for his fall, for they caught his name among the sweet and sad words that they could not understand. Mithrandir, sang the elves, O pilgrim grey. I just love that. For so they loved to call him. But if Legolas was with the company, he would not interpret the songs for them, saying that he had not the skill, and that for him the grief was too near, a matter for tears, and not yet for song. You could tell Tolkien was a man of wisdom, the kind of man you want as a friend. It was Frodo who first put something of his sorrow into halting words. He was seldom moved to make song or rhyme. Even in Rivendell he had listened and had not sung himself, though his memory was stored with many things that others had made before him. But now, as he sat beside the fountain in Lorien, and heard about him the voices of the elves, his thought took shape in a song that seemed fair to him. Yet when he tried to repeat it to Sam, only snatches remained, faded as a handful of withered leaves. Perfect description. And here we are with the song. When evening in the Shire was grey, his footsteps on the hill were heard. Before him the dawn went away, on journey long without a word. From wilderland to western shore, from northern waste to southern hill, through dragon lair and hidden door, in darkling woods he walked at will. With dwarf and hobbit, elves and men, with mortal and immortal folk, with bird on bough and beast in den, in their own native secret tongues he spoke. A deadly sword, a healing hand, a back that bent beneath its load, a trumpet voice, a burning brand, a weary pilgrim on the road. A lord of wisdom, throned he sat, swift in anger, quick to laugh, an old man in a battered hat who leaned upon a thorny staff. He stood upon the bridge alone, and fire and chateau both defied. His staff was broken on the stone, in Khazad-dûm his wisdom died. Brings a tear to the eye. But then, of course, Tolkien was a master of this. He would take you on an emotional roller coaster and keep you so invested in the story while not also trudge down in any one emotion. He would switch between levity and deep sorrow and excitement, and even there's some slog moments in this book. I should say this trilogy, where you want something to happen and you're like egging Tolkien on. Okay, get to the next scene. At least that's my experience when reading it. And I wouldn't trade those moments, those slog moments where you're waiting for the next thing to happen. It just builds the anticipation. Well, he does this here. He has Bilbo talk next. He goes, Sam. He says, "Why, you'll be beating Mr. Bilbo next," says Sam. Sam's always the person to infuse a little bit of lightheartedness. "No, I'm afraid not," said Frodo. "But that is the best I can do yet." "Well, Mr. Frodo, if you do have another go, I hope you'll say a word about his fireworks," said Sam. Something like this. This is the next little verse. "The finest rockets ever seen, they burst in stars of blue and green, or after thunder golden showers came falling like a rain of flowers." It's such a good story that you sort of miss the poetry that's in the story. In fact, when I first read through The Lord of the Rings, I'm ashamed to admit, I just sort of skimmed a lot of the, especially the elven poetry where I just don't know what they're saying. But I would encourage you, and I guess any reader of it, to savor those poems. Even if it's not in your native tongue, it's still a beautiful, I, just the canter of it and the cadence and the rhymes. I mean, he really crafted a beautiful language, the Elvish tongue. And his English poetry is great too. He draws from a deep well of English poetic tradition, and a lot of that's missed because the story is so great. So I guess he's injured by his own greatness. So I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly love Gandalf, one of my favorite characters, and it was so sad to see him die, or perhaps not. I will talk with you guys probably in the next couple days or so. Until then, God bless you.